What up?
Super cold today.
So it's September 27th. We're on the shores of Lake Superior here in the great state of Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we've actually been here for almost a full week already. We left Iowa a little bit in a hurry. Stayed some time in Owatonna, Minnesota. I think we talked about that in Iowa.
We didn't talk about our time there because we hadn't been there yet.
No?
Well, no, because we were in Iowa.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So we had not yet talked about the place we were going to go in the future.
Yeah, so we skipped out of town from Iowa because we couldn't get a reservation through the weekend at Pikes Peak State Park. So we
raindrops.
Headed north into Owatonna, which is a pretty cool little place.
Yeah.
But on the way there, we stopped through this community, and I can't remember the name, but it was an Amish community.
Harmony, Minnesota.
Harmony, yeah. So we're cruising the highway, and all of a sudden you see these signs that say
Amish Byway. Yeah,
Amish Byway. And we're driving down, and you see this horse-drawn carriage with, you know, these Amish-looking people. And
well, they were Amish. They were just Amish-looking. And then you saw some of their houses, and the women were outside with their
bonnets and
laundry was hanging out, and then you see their carriages in the driveway. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it fascinates me.
Yeah, it was neat.
Yeah, and then the campground was, we were there I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and left Monday, right?
Yeah, so when we pulled in, we actually kind of left Iowa too because we kept getting rained on. We had flash flood warnings and all kinds of weird stuff going on, and our trailer was leaking and whatever. So we got out, and we thought we were going to get out of it going into Minnesota. And we pull in, and there's a river that runs along the campground. That's why they call it River View. And we didn't realize we'd have a view of the river because it was like flooding the banks. Come to find out, they actually had a tornado hit
25 miles.
Yeah, 25 miles north of where we were staying that night. So we, in our attempt to get out of the weather, apparently was a failed attempt.
But we missed the tornado.
Yeah,
it was the night before, but we were there for the aftermath, and the water got maybe 10 feet from our campsite, and then it started receding. But it was a couple people had to move out of their spot, and then
the whole bottom layer of campsites was like you couldn't even see the ground.
Benches were buried, electrical things were getting super close.
2 or 3 foot up on them.
But it was it was a nice campground. Yeah. 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks into new management. There was a lot of people that came in for the weekend from Wisconsin and some other places.
A lot of kids. And then we met a family that is from just 5 miles away in Owatonna, and they were very nice. Yeah. And we got to spend time with them. The kids got to spend time with their kids. The Scout and Landon played a lot, and then Bella and Lizzie played a lot. They're all the same age, which is pretty cool. Yeah. And they all had fun, and they invited us over. Well, they fed Scout ribs. That's so nice of them. And then they had us over for s'mores around the campfire that night. Just super nice people. Yeah. So we hung out there. We hung out there for a couple of nights. We went to church in Owatonna and went to Cabela's and all that kind of stuff. And we hung out there the rest of the week. Left on Monday. Just real quick, Sunday was beautiful because it was just autumn. It was an autumn day. Perfect fall day. 71 degrees. We got to be outside. We weren't smacking mosquitoes or flies off of us. I felt for the first time like we were in Colorado again. And it made me miss home. And then I was thinking of my mom. And so I let my mom know. I was like, oh, it reminds me of you. But it was a beautiful day. And the dead leaves on the ground were rustling as the breeze was blowing. And that was a cool day. It was just in 3 months. 3.5 months is hot and humid for the most part, or rainy, and then humid, and then bugs. And I'm sure in our last video from Iowa, we're doing this the whole time. So we don't have to do that today because it's freezing and no bug in their right mind is out right now because it's super cold by the water. But that was a nice place. And then we had to go to. We made our way up to St. Paul in Minneapolis. Yeah. To see the Capitol. Sorry, somebody's staring at us. It's funny. And they're like, why are they sitting in the rocks talking to the air? We also got to see a friend up in St. Paul. We met him up. Yeah, Mark D. And we met him in St. Paul at his brand new house. Well, new to him house. Yeah. We jumped in the truck, grabbed our bikes, and headed down to St. Paul to do a little tour. Yeah, we showed him around St. Paul, which is fun. From Minnesota. Yeah, he's born and raised. And he never been around there. I know. I asked him like, so did you come down here a lot? He's like, God, this is the first time. Yeah, so we got the bikes out, rode up to the Capitol, checked that out for a minute, got there right at 6, so we couldn't go in.
and then took the bikes down to Landmark, which was supposed to be a cool building, one of the top 10 things to do in St. Paul, and it was like, okay, that was cool. Took a picture, and then we rode up to St. Paul.
Like, this is why I've never been down.
Yeah, St. Paul Cathedral. But along the way, we were riding our bikes back up, and we ended up going through a tent city, which was interesting, taking the kids through a tent city on their bikes.
Charlie took the front, Mark took the back, and we all went through very safely. There was a couple looks that we got from people that were a little
stoned.
Well, it was just like, and you could tell they were a little irritated. We were driving through, but
we made it through and rode up to St. Paul Cathedral, which is, I mean, huge and beautiful and all this kind of stuff.
And closed,
so we couldn't go through the inside, but we got some good pictures of the outside, which is fun.
The Capitol was gorgeous too. It's like the outside was marble.
It was a really beautiful area.
It was, it was just gorgeous, and all the stuff they had etched into the marble or even just carved out of marble was just amazing and beautiful. I couldn't stop taking pictures, so it was cool. And then
head back to the truck, got in.
Ooh, I love how you said we got back to the truck. We actually got in, and then we shut the doors.
Yeah, we got in, shut the doors, turned it on, pushed the gas pedal.
We went down to Summit. What was it? Summit Lane, Summit Avenue. What was that called?
Oh yeah, you're right. It's the longest line or longest street full of Victorian houses in the United States. So we just drove for it seemed a couple miles, and every house was a really beautiful Victorian looking house.
Everybody's staring at us. Like,
yeah, that's right.
How weird! And like nobody, like in the day of selfies, nobody's seeing somebody talk to a camera.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that was cool, but we got there kind of late, so it was a little bit dark, but it was still pretty.
And then we FaceTime Jess. Woohoo, Jess Heights.
Hi, Jess.
Jay Hazel. So, and then we went, we dropped Mark off. Well, we went and had pizza that night too. There was so much cheese on that pizza.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about your issue with cheese.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody needs to know.
I think gluten or cheese in a long time.
Nobody needs to know any of that.
It made its way through, so.
Wow, but it was great pizza, super nice people who worked there. When we were there, Mark's mother called him and he promptly gets on the phone and says, "Mom, I can't talk." They have me in the trailer and they won't let me go, trying to like make her think we're like these trailer people. Anyway,
well, we are.
It was funny, and then we went home that night. It was raining, did some shopping.
Yeah, we were half hour out at a KOA. It was nice. Yeah, hold on, I gotta move too.
Our legs are asleep. But then we left the next morning and we went to Cyrus, to Mark Dulcing's house.
Well, actually, we went to Garfield, Minnesota. Not many people can say that, which is about a half hour from Cyrus, Minnesota, which probably not many people can say that.
But that's where Mark grew up, so his parents invited us, they knew we were coming over, invited us over. And I don't know how many, like 9 acres or something. Beautiful place that he grew up on. It's just absolutely beautiful, and just all the greenery and apple trees and just flowers, and his dad does all the gardening and stuff, which is really cool, and old barns, and so it's funny. So real quick, we had to have some mail that we needed to have mailed to us. So we asked Mark, "Can we just have stuff mailed to your house because we know we're going to be there?" It's like, absolutely. Get the address, tell him it's all sent. I'm like, just remind your mom it's coming. He's like, I will. So find out the night before pizza, Mark's like, yeah, totally forgot to tell my mom. She almost sent it back.
She had it in the mailbox ready to go back, and the mailman, I don't know what he did. He brought it back, whatever.
Well, she remembered. She's like, Charlie, it just all clicked together. But I had on there, Charlie knew some care of Mr. and Mrs. Dulcing. So she said, had it not even said that, she would have just completely sent it back. But she's like, there has to be a connection because our names are on here. Yeah. Well, so anyway, then we're sitting there and we're at his house, and they invited Sugar and Ole to join us.
Well,
and
we thought they.
Stop.
They in quotes.
Stop. And so we're eating lunch, and I said, oh, I hope that, do they like dogs or whatever? Oh, they love dogs. He's like, I don't know if I told him the chicken was coming. And then he stops. He's like, or the dog. So
her mom pulls in.
His mom pulls in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she came home early, so she's supposed to be here at 6. I'm like, just let her know. He's like, it'll be fine. He kept saying that over and over. That's what men do. Charlie says that all the time. It'll be fine.
It was fine.
So she pulled up, and I'm holding Ole in the chair, and she comes out, and she gets a phone call from Mark's older brother. So she's talking to him, and she gets off, and Mark's introducing, and he's like, there's a chicken. And she's like, I see that. And she was just absolutely the sweetest lady. Yeah. So it's
a really nice family.
Yeah, and then she was taking pictures of, Ole, and got all of us in best Minnesotan accent. It was so fun, but super nice family. Yeah, made us chili and apple crisp.
We played bocce ball or Booche Ball and little basketball, little game of horse.
Yeah.
And then we had a
walk down to the pond where Mark got sucked on by leeches. Yeah. Not that night, but when he was younger.
And then we had a bonfire. Yep. And then about 10 o'clock that night, we headed out back to Garfield.
In the rain.
Yeah, in the rain. We actually popped out all the slides that night and went to bed, got up.
Left again for
a
6.5 hour drive.
Yeah, longer drive up here to wherever we are.
Grand Marais.
Grand Marais, which is a beautiful area on the Lake Superior.
So like Ocean Superior, basically.
Yeah, no kidding. It's an ocean in Minnesota.
It's like an ocean.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, we've been here for the last couple of days, got a little bit of rain. Today's freezing cold, but it's gorgeous. The water's beautiful. We just went out to the lighthouse, took some pictures, and yeah, what a cool place. A little town, a lot of shops, little cool restaurants.
I think it reminds me of Colorado too.
I think you're just homesick.
The weather though, all these places we haven't been able to go out, and it's just like, this is normal. Like in Colorado, you go outside and it's cold, you put a hat on, a scarf, and you walk around and do stuff. And there's mountains around, hills around us. And not that we have this big lake, but it's just nice to get out of the heat and humidity.
Yeah.
It's been like that for 3.5 weeks. Minnesota is a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's a nice campground, and we're all getting stuff done.
Yeah, we're getting out of here tomorrow night, and we're heading back down to Duluth, which is kind of back the way we came. Stay there for the weekend because we couldn't find spots here over the weekend, and make our way out to Wisconsin. So, yeah. So we left Grand Marais, and we made our way south down to Duluth, Minnesota. And on the way down,
I got a pounding. No, it wasn't. Sorry.
Yeah, on the way down, we decided that...
I had a pounding headache on the way to Grand Marais. Sorry.
Well, actually, I had recalled that Gooseberry Falls was on the way back down to Duluth. So I tried to call the state park to see if we could actually park our fifth wheel there, because you don't just take your fifth wheel random places. I couldn't get a hold of anybody, so we just decided to take a shot at it, and we turned off to the exit of Gooseberry State Park. And it worked out. There's a big parking lot.
Cool, we got to take Sugar and Oli to the waterfalls.
Yep.
Which was fun. Now somebody's screaming in the background. Anyway, we're not in Minnesota right now. We're not in Minnesota. But I feel like I'm still talking like a true Minnesota in Minnesota, because I find that when I'm talking to my kids, I tend to say at the end of every sentence, you know. But then while we were in Minnesota, so we went to Duluth, blah, 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 stayed at a place right off of the St. Louis River, which was it was an interesting park. The lady was nice, everybody was nice. I mean, it was really more of a full-time living place.
Yeah, because there's like a marina and boat docks and all this stuff. Yeah. I think probably most of the people have a boat that stay there.
I mean, their bathrooms was an outhouse,
yeah,
or a porta potty. So, yeah. I mean, but no, still nice. And
well, yeah, so we're pulling into this place, and we're following Google Maps, and Google Maps tells us to turn at this place. Well, there's a big road closed sign. So we ended up zooming past it, thinking somehow whatever.
We did the detour.
I had to turn around in the middle of the highway again. Came back and had to take this weird way through this super small neighborhood.
Okay, you're doing this, and you're totally doing this with your face the whole time. You're Pac-Manning your face while you're talking. So just watch the hands.
So we're going through the neighborhood, and we turn right into this place. I have to back out of it because the fifth wheel totally would have got stuck. Then we go around the block again, come down this weird thing, and we're like going around the corner, like we're gonna get stuck here. End up going over these railroad tracks, and it's like just weird. And the people coming back are like, "Oh,
there's nothing back there. There's nothing down there. You gotta turn around."
I'm like, "No, there's no way I'm turning this thing around."
You couldn't have. It was a single road.
So finally, somebody who actually lived in some, I think, apartment buildings or condos said, "Oh yeah, there's a campground right there." And we pulled in. It was fine. So. Beautiful.
Yeah, we went and to the lift bridge.
Aerial bridge in Canal Park, Duluth, Minnesota.
And we watched one of the largest ships we've ever seen go under, and it was the Coast Guard.
It was like that big.
But
It was cool though.
No, it was cold. It was cold while we were there. Duluth is a really cool place, but they don't have things. Like they don't have, what is my biggest thing lately that places don't have anywhere here? Chick-fil-A. Where's Chick-fil-A? Nobody has Chick-fil-A. Yeah. Like we left Grand Marais, well no, we left, where were we before Minnesota?
The last place we had.
But where was Minnesota? Iowa. We didn't even have it in Iowa. I don't even know what it was.
It's Missouri or Kansas.
Been looking on a map for Chick-fil-A and there isn't any. So whatever. I don't even know why I said that. But no, it was a cool place. We did the drawbridge. We ate at Grandma's, which is a very popular restaurant there.
Tourist restaurant.
A tourist restaurant. Here's, you know, it was like decent. But for all the raves that everybody keeps giving, like you have to go, you have to go, you have to go. But the food was just like, it was, you know, okay. And but it was better than me cooking.
Yeah, okay. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh, that's rude. And so we did that, and we went to the lighthouses, and so that was nice. And then we did go to Walmart. We did our shopping. Yeah.
So Minnesota was cool. It was good to see friends. We saw Mark. We spent a little extra time there because we had to flee from Iowa because of the weather and reservations. But it was a cool place. I think it was better than I had expected. It was very beautiful.
So as of now, so we've been out a week, 2. Grand Marais is got major flooding. Well, I shouldn't say major flooding issues because I don't know if it's flooding, but the waters are super high. And on my weather alert, there's a lot of flood advisories. And his cousin had just pictures or something he had posted on Facebook. Not that he's there, but it was just, but it's like hurricane-like, whatever. So we seem to kind of leave when we need to.
Yeah.
So.
And we left. It was good.
And then where'd we go? We went to Wisconsin.
We went to Wisconsin.
Well, I know, but we went to Wisconsin.
Yeah, we went to Wisconsin.
And that's next, and you guys are going to hear about Wisconsin, and you know.
You know.
Don't you know?
Okay, love you, miss you. Peace out.